Listen, when the whole, virus is out, and he told you who was in the high-risk group, all of us were nervous. Because when you're hearing the elderly are really susceptible to catching it and also not recovering, I think everyone in here felt a bit on edge about that. And mine was about my gran, 100% nervous about that. And I think, as well, she was too. As you can imagine, you were seeing it on the telly, you're in a high-risk group automatically. She was 89 at the time of when she got that announcement that this is what's going to happen, you need to stay home. And I remember feeling a real way about this. So I phoned her just to check in on her. I said, hey, Gran, how you doing? And she went, don't come and see me. Just like that. Just like that. Literally exactly how I said it. Don't come and see me. I said, Gran, I'm not coming to see you. I'm just asking how you're doing. Nobody ask me no question either. Because if you breathe too heavy down the phone, me might catch the virus. I mean, why you nasty germs on my skin. I said, Gran, that's not how viruses spread. I don't know where you learned that from. Don't come and see me because you're nasty. Because you were scared, innit? Like everybody of that age group. They were nervous because, again, high-risk group. I remember the only person that could see her was my auntie who lives with her and is her carer as well. My auntie would go out once a week to go and do the shopping, fill up all the food in the house. But just like everyone who's looking after the elderly would do, when the shopping came in, she wiped down all the packaging, make sure she washed all of her clothing before she interacted with Gran, make sure she washed it herself because we were all nervous about what's going on. We're worried about the elderly. My Gran was also worried about catching the virus. We were there to protect her and to try and make her feel a bit more comfortable by staying away. Let my auntie go and do what she's got to do and keep her as protected as possible. So you think that when the government announced there was a vaccine to protect the elderly, that my Gran might consider getting the vaccine. Nope. Not a single shot. Not a lick. I don't know if most people know this. We're not really in the... When it comes to medicine and scientists, you see, we're not... big man, you're laughing. You understand what I'm saying, innit? We're not really, especially Caribbean, most ethnic minorities, we're just not really in it, right? The only medicine we deal with is green you can roll up. That's our little... Yeah, man, my meds. That's all we... You understand? You know what I mean, innit? Yeah, look at him. You understand. Yeah, man. So when that happened, I got a great relationship with my Gran. I can talk very bluntly to her. She's very kind of like blunt in what she says. In a very loving way, but it's very blunt. And so am I when it comes to talking to her. We're the kind of one of the only two that can be very, very blunt with each other. We know it's not disrespectful. Some other family members are like, no, I've got to be nice and respectful. And I'm saying I'm not being disrespectful, just how we communicate. So often they call me to say, look, tell her what you got to say because she'll hear you and, you could be very blunt about it. I said, you know what, I'm going to do that because she's scared, so why can't I try and find out what's going on? I phoned her, I said, hey, Gran, listen, what's this about you not taking the vaccine? Me no want it. Me no want nobody come and juke me. Juke you? It's a medical procedure, not a stabbing, Gran. Me no want it. But Granny, it's for your protection. I have my own protection. I have my Bible, my ginger tea, and my machete. Machete? What are you Van Helsing? What? Granny the virus slayer? What's a machete gonna do, man? She weren't trying to hear nothing at all. And then the inevitable happened. She caught COVID, right? Now, before we go on with this bit, I'll tell you this from now. She's absolutely fine. Caught COVID, recovered from it. Something about cantankerous, miserable people, they can't die. They can't die. I'm telling you, it gets scary, but believe me, make this whole building blow up right now, yeah? Honestly, every miserable person in here will survive and go, oh, it's a bit chilly now. It's cold in here. What, you couldn't just close the walls off with extra insulation? Trust me. The virus caught her and then said, oh, nah, we need to infect someone more jolly. Now, this is where it gets a bit scarier. You hear that elderly people get COVID. We heard the news about people getting COVID. They go into hospital, and there was a risk that they wouldn't come out and we wouldn't see them again. Everybody's on edge, as you can imagine, right? Now, there's like a line of phone calls that people get, like people who are like the next of kin and so on. I was on that list as somebody that you can call late because I'm a comedian. I tour around the country and I'm up late. It could be like a 2, 3 o'clock phone call, and if I got the call late, then at that point, at least I'm awake where some people might be asleep. So I was on the line for like a late night phone call, and that's what happened, unfortunately. I was in Leicester doing a show. I come off the stage, the phone was ringing, but it was also missed calls as well. So I picked it up, didn't know the number. I said, hello, and they said, hi, Mr. Styla. I said, yeah. They go, it's the hospital. It's about your gran. Before I even said anything to the person on the phone, jumped in my car. It's about an hour and a half from Leicester down to London. I did it in like 55 minutes because I'm scared, I'm nervous. As you can imagine, you get that phone call, you're worried about what that could actually mean. I get all the way down to London, get to the hospital, I run up to the reception. I said, hi, I'm Mr. Styla, I'm here about my gran. What's going on? What's the emergency? And the lady at reception said, no, it's nothing too heavy, so just take a minute. I said, what? So all those camera flashes on the M1, I got a driving ban for nothing too heavy. Is that what you're telling me? What are we talking about? Well, it is important, but we'll explain. This is what's happening. We've been trying to feed your gran. However, every time we bring the food to her, she says it don't make correctly. We don't quite understand what MEC means. Is that like an allergy? Is MEC a requirement, like a vitamin deficiency? We don't know what MEC means. I obviously know what that means, innit? She's saying the food hasn't been prepared in the way that she likes it. It's a hospital, so she's not happy about that. The way I stormed into the ward, walked through, see the big plastic sheet in front of her. I said, Gran, what are you playing at, man? They're trying to feed you and you're saying about the food isn't made properly? What are you talking about? Without a beat of breathing, she replied straight away, look at it, it don't season right. Look at the chicken, look on the chicken. You see the chicken? It's as white as the nurse. You know what? Bring me a defibrillator, me bring back the chicken to life again. I said, what? On God's...